discuss this with Shaykh Muhammed Al Yaqoubi. He's a Syrian Islamic scholar and a religious leader, and he joins me from Rabat in Morocco. Shaykh Yaqoubi, welcome back to our program. It seems we're always having to ask you these very important questions after these horrific incidents. What is it that you can say to fellow Muslims and non-Muslims around the world about how to react after this terrible, violent, radical extremist action here on Friday?
Well, Christian, let me first of all express my sincerest condolences to the victims' families after this horrific terror attack which shocked the world, Muslims and others all alike. My message to everyone is not to fall in the trap which these terrorists want us to fall in. That is to say, they want actually to provoke a clash of civilization. They want to turn the Western governments against their Muslim populations, and they want also to provoke the Muslim populations against their governments. So I believe here we should stay united all together against terrorism, against ISIS, because ISIS belongs to no religion, although they use Islam, but their religion is terror. So let's not fall in the trap that these people represent Islam. We know that there are 1.5 billion Muslims around the world who denounce ISIS, who are against its ideology. And also here, we see that ISIS wants also more aggression from Western governments. So let's not fall into this trap and exert any oppression against innocent Muslim populations in the West, because they are not
Shaykh
responsible
Yaqoubi
for what happened. Yes?
Shaykh Yaqoubi, let me ask you this. There are many people who now are starting to say it's not really a war of civilizations, it's not really a religious war. It is a totalitarian war by people akin to the Nazis of the last century. That this, as we know, they attack their own fellow Muslims. Do you buy that? Do you believe that this group, calling itself ISIS, wants to expand its territory, wants to dominate in that sort of totalitarian way that we have seen already, whether it was communism, whether it was fascism, Nazism in the 20th century?
Yes, indeed. You're right on this point. ISIS does not aim at just toppling the regime, the Assad regime in Syria. They have done actually very little about this. Their goal is to expand all over the world. And here I would like actually to mention something, that they are looking at themselves as a legitimate state. And when they launch their war against the West now, they are sending warnings. And I advise now security experts to take these warnings really seriously, because they think that they cannot attack the West without sending any warnings. So they are not treacherous in that way. They consider themselves, of course, they commit every treachery here by killing innocent people. If they wanted to fight, they fight at fronts with the military fronts, soldiers. But they are killing innocent people. They are killing now women, children. Now it is our job actually to highlight the tragedy of these innocent people in order to prove that these people do not belong to Islam, do not belong to religion, have no ethics at all, have fallen into this trap of barbarity.
Shaykh Yaqoubi, I have time for one very, very quick question and answer. How does the majority Muslim population stop this attempt by ISIS to drag extremism into the mainstream and force everybody to accept extremism as the standard? How do you and your community prevent that?
Well, Christian, war starts in the minds of people. In order to combat an ideology, we need to bring counter-narrative. And this is what I did actually in my recent book, Refuting ISIS. It's one attempt. And I believe that Muslim councils through the Islamic world from Morocco till Indonesia, including Al-Azhar, prestigious institution, they all express this, but much more work is needed actually, especially in support of moderate figures and moderate Muslims, imams in the West and in the Islamic world alike.